Hey everyone, today I am going to talk about relationship tips, compromise, things I had to work on. This video is strictly for males in a relationship, but anyone can show their partner that if you're in a relationship with a male who you believe they are struggling with these things. I'm going to sit back on the counter right here. I did like doing that before, trying to change up the scenery at times. I do so many videos. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think about this content. This will be a really good video. Okay, so the most important thing that I had to remember was compromise. Now, I had never compromised in anything in my life with anyone. I saw compromise as a weakness in many ways. Anyone that compromised, I viewed them as a loser or someone that was just like, oh my God, look at them, they can't stand up for themselves. And that got me into a lot of trouble. People will, there's no such thing as a selfless person. You hear wishy-washy stuff of someone that's selfless. You cannot be selfless. Drinking water to keep yourself alive is an act of selfishness. But a lot of people have too much selfishness behaviors. Of course, every time I start making a video, Daisy has to want to go outside. Every time, boo-boo. Every time. You won't move. Go. Both of you. So, always fun. Anyway, so she still has the surgical donut on her head. She gets her stitches out here soon for all the people that know she had cancer, which did come back, by the way. She had stage 2 cancer, but they took it out, and her life expectancy is now hopefully 60 to 70 months. If it doesn't come back, so awesome. So I never compromised with anything. I always acted the way I wanted to act, and I was really hindered in my relationship. All the cheating, all the adult websites, all of the issues I had with every female I'd ever been with in my life. Just habits that I came to. I didn't have a breaking point, but I just knew my marriage was going to come to an end. And Erica is such a great person, has so many great qualities. I wanted to do what I could to change myself to benefit the relationship, but also understand that she didn't need to take on board anything I said, or she didn't have to change. So a lot of people, they might do something really bad in their relationship and they say, I'm going to work on this. That way my partner has to change. No, I worked on it. So even if Erica left me, I could hopefully have new habits and new perspectives in another relationship. Thankfully, she did not leave me. Thank you, Erica. And we still have a good relationship today. So that's a really important thing to talk about. So the first thing that I did to help myself was I had to start doing things that Erica wanted to do that I didn't want to do. So let's take hiking for an example. It's a simple one. Erica wanted to, it's so funny, my door's open and my neighbors just left and they're like looking at me, hearing me talk about this. Great shame attacking exercise for certain people. So I wanted to do what I wanted to do all the time, and that wasn't good. So I like really hard hikes. Erica doesn't like really hard hikes. So what I had to do was start compromising in that way, where maybe we went for just a walk around the state park. That's one example. I know that Erica likes when I come home first for work, that I cook dinner, the sink is done. If she doesn't usually she's home by the time I'm cleaning up everything, but sometimes she's not. A couple times a month, she works till like 8:30 or 9 p.m. By the time she gets home, all the dogs are walked. The sink's completely spotless. Everything is cooked. The world's best invention right here, air fryer, is cleaned, and she really appreciates that. Me doing stuff in my room, keeping my room clean and busy because she doesn't like she likes having a tidy house. Even though we have a cleaning person that comes twice a month or once a month, me still doing things that she enjoys are cleaning my bathtub and the toilet and all sorts of stuff like that. That type of a compromise she really likes. Stuff I never would have thought about in the past. So I had to be a little bit more aware of that stuff. Again, I didn't necessarily do these things to save the marriage per se, but I did them because they were good for structure in the relationship. If Erica, there's a lot of things Erica and I don't see eye to eye on. I see, like I'm going to go to Ultra Music Festival for the rest of my life. That was something I wasn't going to compromise on. I've been going to Ultra Music Festival for years and years and years, and festivals before I met Erica. There's things Erica does that she's been doing way before she met me. I lived 26 years of my life without knowing Erica. 8 of those years, I've been going to music festivals with my friends. There are things that I don't think the person would benefit compromising on everything, because that's not healthy either. Then you become the yes syndrome, where you say yes and you become too pleasing, and that's a big problem as well. So there's things that she does that I don't particularly, like one example is we view dogs very differently. I have a very 1900 view on dogs. They're just animals to me. Yes, I love them, but they're still not a human being. I view them as animals. I treat them really well, but spending $10,000 on a vet bill is not something that I want to do. And I think it's important that you have a lot of people that view that in different ways. So Erica views the veterinarian example in a much different way than I view it. Totally fine. So I compromise with her on that because she lets me go to Ultra, and that's not the cheapest thing every year between hotels, flights, and everything. Again, it's not that you have to bring every single thing up. You know, you're never going to know what battles to pick, but I know for myself, there was particular ones that I wanted to pick like that. Other ones too, like when I go to Ultra, I smoke cigarettes. She doesn't like that. I only smoke cigarettes 3 days a year. That's not going to change. If she wants to threaten to leave me and divorce me because of smoke, I think it would be a little bit irrational, because for the majority of history, people didn't care whether their partner smoked because everyone smoked. It's a very new age thing. Only until like 40, 30, sometimes 20 years ago, depending where you live, most people, like if 1930, people, if husbands wanted to smoke cigars in the home, the woman, she might not have liked it, but she never said anything. Not saying that's a good thing or not. It's not about that. It's about the normality of human history. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, people just smoked where they want and when they wanted. The invention, I don't know when the invention of tobacco was, but in that sense as well. And that's okay. But again, there are a lot of other things that she doesn't like that I need to compromise. One example, it sounds like a dumb example, I like my hair this length. She doesn't. So when I got my hair cut, I'm going to take half the hair off the head. She says I look like a greaser. She thinks I look too much like an Italian in that way. You don't. Understandable. It's my hair. It's on my head. But I'm still making that compromise for her. I also like a big beard. She's like, you look uglier with it. Your face looks fat. I don't give a fuck. But, you know, it's like she likes those particular things. So I do it to help please her. Another one is romance and intimacy. I was having a call about this with someone today. They're going to laugh when they see this. And they're like, I'm going to show this to my partner. So, like, I was making a joke. I could watch Saving Private Ryan, watch a bunch of people get their heads blown off in a war movie, and then just instantly be turned on to have sex. Many men are like this, and women, probably more so men, just genetically and biologically. But that's not how Erica likes to be turned on. So I had to practice more giving massages and setting up a romantic mood and before we go into it. She does, you know, and a lot of women are like this. They're like, I can't just jump into it. I wanted to compromise that, which has helped the romantic side of my relationship. Another thing is I like going out to eat multiple times a week. I like the experience of going out. I don't care if I gain a little bit extra weight or if I'm a little bit more bloated. Or my stomach's more upset. I do not care about that stuff. That's for the experience and the one time I probably have on this earth, and I like good food. Erica doesn't. She doesn't like that because she feels too bloated. It's too much for her. So she's like, I don't want to do it as much. Totally fine. I had to meet her halfway on that. So we go out to eat a couple times a month if friends are in town. Like my best friend's coming tomorrow for Labor Day weekend, a holiday in America. So we'll probably go out to eat Thursday, Friday, 4 nights in a row, but that's not a norm. Even 4 nights in a row for me, like the way I like to eat, you know. I made a joke with my buddy because my buddies know me for 12 years. He knew real fat Nick, and I made a joke to him because he's very his name is also Nick, and I was like, yo Nick, tell your girlfriend she's gonna eat Nick Beach style, because my nickname with my friends is Beach, and he was like, that's hilarious because I was just I was a lot bigger than I am now. Let's say that. So those are other things I had to compromise on. Again, anything cleaning and tidy, keeping things in an organized manner, she likes that. I don't really care so much about that. I do because the habit's good. She likes that more. Let's see what else. I like to go out a couple times a year and get fucking plastered. Like I love, like once a quarter, a good night out with the buddies. Like I opened this piano like karaoke bar like 4 months ago. I went out and got bombed. You know? Oh my God, it's so bad for you. Your liver. Relax. You're gonna live one. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm not an alcoholic. I've never struggled with drinking. I can cut it off and not have a sip of alcohol for months. This idea that podcasters are like, alcohol is the devil. It's like, no, alcohol is bad for you, not for me. I can balance it, etc. Plus, we don't really understand health, and then we do what we don't. My granddaughter Gina is a great example. She's an outlier. She smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes a day for 75 years. She's 91 years old. Was just with her. Neither my grandma or her sister, my granddad, had glasses at all. Perfect vision. They're good. They're frail. They're in their 90s, but they don't have any major health conditions. So it's like, my dad down at 60 didn't smoke, didn't drink, but he was obese. So he was he was a circle. So, and things like that. Like, she likes it. What else are other things that she, drives her crazy when the garbage isn't taken out? I would usually push it down because I was being lazy. I changed that. That was a big one. When we have conversations, I try my best to not raise my voice anymore. I grew up in a yelling. My home could have been called my like for sympathetic way, right? That could have been in the street, because the house I grew up in, like typical East Coast Italians, like I don't think, when you're around people from New Jersey and you're not from there, I've had numerous people say, you guys are so rude, you interrupt each other. And I say, that's not rudeness, that's the culture. It doesn't bother us, it's bothering you, and you're not even in the conversation. When you look at things from that angle, it makes it seem how silly it is. It helps to break it down. But, you know, I did a lot of yelling and screaming, just how I saw things. Not even at her, a lot of times at her, but I would just yell about things like, oh, what the fuck, man? She's like, I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. She's like, yeah, but you're yelling in the vicinity of me. So I had to really work on that. And this has benefited my marriage immensely. It's benefited the romantic, intimate side of my relationship. It's benefited my personal anger and all my beliefs. And Erica is a piece of my life, but Erica is not my life. I'm sure if something happened to Erica, I'd be very upset. I'd find a way to go on. Most people are like, that's such a terrible thing. How could you say that? My partner is my soulmate. More than likely, no such thing as a soulmate, completely made up. No such thing as the one, also completely made up. It's probably luck, timing, and just the way things are. You know, we know that because my mom is back with a guy who she dated before she left this guy for my father. How fucking crazy is that? I told that story a couple times in webinars, I think in a YouTube video. So, you know, the person you have the idea of the one now, if that person passed away, then you went into depression, came out of it, and you met someone else, you married them and have kids, who's the one? The person that died or the person you're with now? You know, there's no way to prove it scientifically, so it's not rational in the way that we view the RBT principles, which has a lot of scientific backing behind it. Not fully, but a lot of it. But common sense can obviously be subjective anyway, depending on where you live and your culture and your background. So those are the things that I wanted to do. It's not all about me anymore. A lot of it is how can I make Erica happy? Not in the sense of I need her to be happy. How do I work on this as a partnership? Not the me against you mentality, the us together mentality. Being married is not easy, okay? There's a lot of great benefits with being married. It's taught me a lot. It's not about never being annoyed or never, you like my like cauldron thing? I'm like a warlock, like a wizard. There's an ADHD moment for you, which happens all the time. So, but it's about compromise and realizing you're probably not going to get your way all the time. If you are getting your way all the time, the chance of the person you're with is being a yes person way too much. So thank you again, Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Let me know what you think. These are all things I had to work on whilst I was suffering. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.